course, you would be offered a full tenured professorship.
Oh, now would that mean I would have
Teach? Oh, no, God,
No, because my schedule is just constantly.
Flux. That's what I said.
Did you want to hang that?
Yeah.
Great. I can't believe it.
Do you remember that night, junior year?
No.
Chardonnay on the quad after Julia Child Day?
You know what? I'm strictly a Scotch girl, and I always have been. So I never really experimented with Chardonnay.
That is Louis-Dreyfus and Amy Brenneman in VEEP.
So there's a fun story behind Amy Brenneman being cast in this role. Last year, we had a scene in the show in which Richard Splett is having a conversation with another character, and Richard is very, very sort of nervous. And so he starts talking about a movie he likes, Heat. And the two actors in Heat being so fabulous, such heavy hitters, De Niro and Brenneman, he says. Now, for those of you who don't know, the real actor was Pacino, but he says Brenneman, okay? So Amy Brenneman was a fan of the show, so she tweets to us, I love your show, I'd love to be in it, maybe I could play Selena's college roommate that she experimented sexually with. So...
And that worked.
Yeah. And so then we thought, hey, that's not a bad idea. Maybe because we go to Smith College this season, and maybe she could be the president, and she was the old roommate, and yeah, maybe that'll work. So we hired her. We paid her as an actress, but we didn't give her writing credit. But she really did do it, so that was fun. She was awesome.
You might get now suddenly every actor in Hollywood will be tweeting ideas. Yeah. That was it though. You're never doing that again, correct?
That is really it. Yeah. And I've gone off Twitter too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I know there are a lot of people who are fans of the show. Obviously, people in very high positions. I know in politics that are fans of the show. Who's the biggest one of all, the most famous fan of VEEP that you have encountered?
Really?
Yeah, number one.
Well, does Barack Obama count?
He definitely counts.
He's a big fan. But we've talked to people on both sides of the aisle who've come, and we do a lot of research on the show, and on our show we don't identify Republican or Democrat, which has turned out to work. It works very well, particularly now, because everything is so polarized. But and as a result, both sides of the aisle dig the show. We had Mitt Romney, believe it or not, was a huge fan of the show. He and his wife, Ann Romney.
Wow.
And so, yeah.
I imagine him just hearing the curse words and...
I know, he probably is offended by that, but he carries on.
Chugging his milk and going to sleep, yeah.
But anyway, and so we actually had the privilege of spending time. They came and talked to us at great length, and it was really useful because we really wanted to talk to him about what it's like to lose. Yeah.
Is that how you explained it in the phone call?
I'm not sure. Yes, that was the pitch.
We want a loser here that we can really mind.
Tell us about your worst moments in your life that were on the public stage. No, but he was very generous, and you know, the thing about Mitt Romney, I should say, is that he is very dedicated to his family, and he has a life well beyond politics, which of course Selena Meyer does not. But you know, he said a lot of really interesting things, including, I asked him about that 47% moment. You know,
oh, yeah, when he said the country is, we're supporting 47% of the population or something like that?
Something like that. And he got into a lot of trouble for it. It was during the campaign. I was asking him how did that happen? How did he recover, et cetera, et cetera? And he said, you know, the truth is when you're running, if you're explaining, you're losing. And I thought, oh, that's such a great expression. Anyway, we put it in the show.
Wow.
Yeah.
Another uncredited writer on the show. The union violations are really starting to pile up.
True. It's a writer's strike.
You know, be nice. You should give Mitt and Amy one of your Emmys. You got too many of them anyway.
All right, I will.
Well, the show is fantastic.
Thank you.
Congratulations. You've done it again. VEEP, Sunday nights on HBO. Julia Louis-Dreyfus, everyone. Hi, I'm Jimmy Kimmel. If you enjoyed the video, hit subscribe. And if you don't click subscribe, this invisible hamster will die.